I'm Lady T506. Welcome to my channel. Hello everyone's. I am here for Love and Hip Hop New York Season 9 Episode 3. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, you know you family over here, you one of my peoples, welcome back. We're going to start off with Juju and Yandy because Juju does not like that both Yandy and Jonathan are throwing out words like she's secretive because she associates being secretive as being sneaky. So Yandy was like, well, you don't really divulge everything in your life, and you didn't tell us that you had broke up with Cameron until months after y'all broke up. Well, she's like, she'd been with Cameron for 10 years. They were engaged. And once they broke up, she wanted to deal with that privately and heal and, just cry about that breakup on her own until she told her friends because you break up, oh girl, she didn't want that right now. She wanted to do it on her own, have all the time she needed to herself before she goes and then tells her friends what was going on in her life. But she was looking at Yandy like, you have all the nerve, gall, and audacity to talk about me being secretive when you was out here doing things and you didn't tell us about. I think what you did was a lot worse than what I did and me not telling y'all about my breakup. But y'all know how it is. You tell somebody your business, y'all get mad at each other, and then they want to throw that in your face. I'm not saying that Yandy would have did that or none of her friends would have did that, but she's like, I just wanted to deal with this privately before I told anybody else. I'm like, that's your prerogative. So Jonathan, he is still mad about what went down at his party. First of all, you ambushed you the moment she walked in there. That was not your business. I wanted to talk to Juju on my own. I wanted to handle these issues with Juju on my own. But now you wanted to attack Juju. You, Kimbella, it seems like you told Juju about the conversation we had. I was going to talk to her after my party. I didn't even know she was going to show up. And that caused all this negativity and what was going on. And at one point, Anais said she jumped up and got to saying something and she was talking too fast and I just could not read. It wasn't even my closed caption. It was like the closed caption that they give us when they be talking too fast or they be speaking in Spanish. But I was like, girl, what is going on? I'm telling y'all, I feel that she's trying to be Jocelyn. I could be wrong, but the theatrics that she be going through, at one point Jonathan and Anais, they was arguing with each other. He's over telling her, I dulled myself so you can shine bright like a star. I am not gonna do that again. You was my sister. These two arguing back and forth. I'm like, child. But I do he did tell Anais you was wrong for jumping down Juju's back. I wasn't going to do that. I was going to have a nice, pleasant conversation with her after my party because, one, I didn't even know she was going to be there. I was like, that's Yandy's fault. Yandy basically said, girl, Juju, you invited to Jonathan's party, even though he didn't give you an actual invitation himself. But, girl, you was there. You're like, Yandy, she should have got some of that lip that, Jonathan was doing out to Anais and Kimbella, if you ask me. So Remy, she has a new clothing line and she's collaborating with another company, and some of the proceeds are going to go to help women who are getting out of jail. It's, all the necessities she needs. And I was like, that's good. She realized, even though once she got in jail, she still had contacts, she still had a little bit of money, but a lot of women, they don't have that. So she wants to help people out. I was like, okay, good, Remy. We here for that, helping out people. Use your celebrity to help out others. Juju tells her what went on with Jonathan and Yandy and how they both agree that she's secretive. But she's like, well, we didn't say anything when she didn't turn in the paperwork and her not really being married. We never threw that in her face, but she wanted to throw in my face that I didn't tell y'all as soon as me and Cameron broke up, 5 minutes later, get y'all on the phone. But she was out here having whole weddings, televised weddings, and then come to find out that she didn't turn in no marriage license and get it signed, sealed, and delivered back to her while she's out here the almost whole last season making moves like she was a wife when she wasn't legally married to Mendices. To this day, I'm not even sure if she's signed, sealed, and delivered those papers to the courthouse to make sure that finally that she is legally married to this Mendices. I don't know, but I feel you on that one. Juju, she jumping down your throat because you didn't divulge just one little bit of your your business to her, like it's like she needs to know your business. But she was out here having whole weddings, making moves like she was the actual factual wife, and y'all wasn't even legally married. I'm not gonna go all into Sydney Star, but I'm just gonna say I'm with the friend. Like, whose career has Rich helped? She's like, Erica Mena. Okay, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my research, and I'm gonna, go on Wikipedia and find out about Erica Mena. It just says that she was on Love and Hip Hop, and she was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Then Wikipedia gonna have the nerve to ask me for a donation, y'all. I was like, no ma'am, you want me $2 to help they site? I was like, no, that's why I come to you for free. I don't want to pay you for it. Anyways, then she's like, well, Olivia. Then I was like, okay, Olivia, she had a crib before Rich. I don't know if he was there from the beginning. But what has Olivia done? Like, what, in all the time we've seen Rich on this show, whose career has blown up like that? I'll wait. Not trying to be shady, but she's over it like, yes, Rich is going to do everything for my career. But he was like, whose career has he helped before you? Rich feels, well, Sydney Star, she's a rapper. She has a lot of followers on social media, so that equals success. I was like, I guess Cardi B did that, but I don't know, I haven't seen her rap like that for real, more than that little tidbit she did. But her rapping was sounding like when, they used to scratch the records back in like the 80s. They probably still do that now, but like it was a lot of the same like words over and over and over, back and forth, back to back. But I was just like, I don't know whose career he actually helped. Not being shady. I'm talking about on this show now. Behind the scenes, he's probably over there making people famous left and right. But I'm talking about what we see on the show. Whose career has he helped? I don't think it was Erica Mena nor Olivia. But that's just my opinion. So, Juelz was in the studio, which I was confused for, because I was like, I know they have a studio at their house, but he's supposed to be on house arrest at his mama's house. But anyway, he tells her he got a call from the lawyer, and they've changed some things. It's the time that he can get is a lot more than what they thought. And if he takes the plea deal, he can get 27 to 37 months. If he takes it to trial, that's 47 to 57 months. So he's debating what should he do. Do I just go ahead and take this plea deal and I know what I'm getting? Or do I take it to trial and I get this time? If I take it to trial, there's a chance that I just can get off on everything. He don't really know what he wants to do. But she feels that he hasn't suffered any of the consequences of the things he's decided to do. Like, you decided to take these drugs. And I've been telling you from years on top of years on top of the years to stop doing these drugs, and you wouldn't do it. He said, she said, you don't own responsibility of you don't own the responsibility of having a substance abuse problem. And like, he did kind of say at the beginning, he got addicted to pills, but he's not saying that, he had he's like, I was on these pills, but now it's like, he's not accepting that he was on drugs. It's like, one thing doesn't have to do with another. I was like, no, you being on drugs caused you to do this to put you guys in the situation you are in right now. Those things go hand in hand. If you wasn't on the drugs, or on the pills was drugs, if you weren't on these drugs, you wouldn't have thought and forgot that you had a gun on you, and you wouldn't have tried to go into the airport. So they have everything to do together. And she's like, I was taking care of the kids for years while you was on drugs, at the same time trying to get you off of drugs. I've been through a lot with you. And I was like, Kim Bella has been through a lot with him. The drugs, the cheating, and all that other stuff. So he's basically not even taking responsibility, because he's the sole reason why they're in the situation that they're in now. Together, like, y'all friends, I'm gonna need y'all to squash this situation. And right off the bat, Juju was like, okay, you didn't tell us that you and Mendeecees were legally married. Well, Yandy feels her situation is different. about her being secretive, because they were trying to figure things out and waiting to see if his plea deal was going to go through. Like I said last season, I believe it was, or whatever season that was, we found out that Yandy had lied. It may have been the season before, but whenever it was, I was like, it seems like, they was going to go through with it, and it was like, okay, snap. Oh snap, if we're legally married, they can kind of come over here and take some of my money, and we don't want that. So we just gonna act like we married, and I'm gonna do all the things I do as a wife, but not being legally married. So she feels that their situation is different. Like, you lied up, you didn't tell us something about your life, but you getting mad at me because I didn't do the same thing about mine. Girl, go ahead and sit down somewhere. But she's like, I need to know something else. When me and Cameron decided to break up, I told my mom and my sister, and I told you and Remy. Y'all was the only people who knew before, media got a hold of this. So I need to know, did you go back and talk to Cameron? Because I got a call from him, and if he was like basically defensive, like I was out here talking about him. Did you call and talk to him? She's like, no, I wouldn't do that. But I was like, I don't know. You don't really respect people's relationships, because I remember how you was with Chrissy and Jim's relationship, like the first few seasons. You was all up in their relationship, trying to give her a book on how to be a good daughter-in-law and all this other stuff. You was very shady about that relationship. I wouldn't put it past you to go over there and talk to Cameron, and it just happened to slip out. And because on the show, we never heard Juju speak any ill will on Cameron. She could have been like, I was at that doggone man for 10 years, and he didn't even try to marry me. He wanted to get, she could have said, I couldn't even get that out. I was with that man for 10 years. He wasted 10 years of my life and didn't even marry me, and we didn't broke up. She could have said a lot of things, but she didn't. So, but she's like, he called me, and I know it was my mom and my sister. You and Remy are the only people I told before this went public. So, did you tell him? She's like, I would never do that. I was like, I don't know. We didn't think that you would be out here having weddings and not signing papers, but look what you did. You guys, this last scene made me feel some type of way. So, Juelz decides to take the plea deal, and he said he was moving in the right direction before all this happened, even though he was heavily on drugs and making bad decisions. And he says this situation is because weapons and not drugs. I was like, I don't see how you don't see how these are hand in hand. The drugs cause you to have a gun on you, and those cause you to try to get on a plane. If you wasn't on those drugs, you would have been in your right mind and went through your bag and realized, hey, I have a gun on me. One, if you had not been on drugs, you would have realized, this is stupid. I'm out here with a gun when I'm, I'm on papers. I have warrants out for me, but I'm out here carrying a gun. And you sit here saying how, it was the weapons was got me here, not the drugs. You being on the drugs contribute to being here for like, oh, I'm so high on drugs. I don't even know that I have a gun on me right now. That's how high you are. And he just seems to not understand that. He's talking about some of those times I was supposedly on drugs. You was living upstairs. I was living downstairs. It wasn't know that you were supposedly on drugs. Juelz, you were on drugs. You admitted that you got addicted to Percocet. I don't know how you don't understand this. Just because it was pills and it was prescribed does not mean that you weren't addicted to this drug. The opioid in it is a drug. And I'm just sitting here looking at him like he is like taking no responsibility. Like, this ain't my fault. I didn't do this. It wasn't about the drugs. It was about the weapons. And she's sitting there looking like, really? He talking about some, this is when I need Camilla the most. And she's throwing this stuff in my face. Like, she's tired. She is at her wit's end. She had been telling you for years on years to stop taking these pills. And you decided to continue to take these pills. And your decision is going to cause you not to be in your kid's life for some years. Cause you not to be with her for some years. She already had to deal with you not being there while you was there. And now she's really going to have to deal with the kids. Like, when is daddy going to come home? Why can't my daddy be here? Because you were on drugs and you still don't understand it. Y'all, I was just looking at this scene like, you can't be serious, Juelz. You mad at her because she's feeling some type of way. She has a right to feel some type of way. Because she'd been telling you for so long to get better, to do better. And it took you being high on pills and trying to get on a plane with a gun to you getting up, having to turn yourself in because you did this. I was just looking like this. He can't be just saying this and actually believing what he's saying. Like, are you still on the pills, Juelz, to where you just don't think that this is not your fault? I don't know how you don't believe that the weapons and the drugs, the weapon charge happened because you were on drugs. Plain and simple. I keep on reiterating that and saying it over and over again. But it just seemed like he just did not get it. Y'all, I was sitting there looking at this scene like, really? All that you done put Kimbella through, all the cheating and all the drugs, and her been trying to get you clean for years. You being there physically, but not mentally, and you treating her like this. Like she's supposed to be, comforting me right now. I'm going through the worst things, this worst time of my life, and she's throwing this in my face. She's throwing it in your face because this is your doing. Your doing. So y'all, that was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning and you my family over here, you one of my peoples, tell your peoples or tell their peoples to come over here and be one of my peoples. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.